Okay, this PowerPoint is on thesis statements and outlining. So let's get started. You guys know that the thesis statement is one of the most important parts of a research paper because it's the roadmap for your reader as well as it serves as the roadmap when you write your paper. You know that it serves the main point of your paper and clarifies the scope, and it also appears at the end of your introduction. It's likely that you've finished your preliminary research, and that's given you some insight into your chosen topic. So now that you've done that, it's going to be easier to create your thesis statement and outline. So here's what a good thesis statement is. First, it's a declarative sentence that states clearly and concisely the author's intent, and you know that your intent is to inform your reader about your topic. It's a statement that is considered significant because it contributes to the scholarly understanding of the subject, and we'll talk about that more in just a second. And it's a statement that includes the preview of what your main points are going to be. So, first here, this is about how it needs to be significant and contribute to the scholarly understanding of the subject. Obviously, in this example, playing video games is fun. That's not a very significant statement about video games. This one at the very bottom is more important. To better understand how video games are used as a developmental tool for young people, one must understand how they enhance eye-hand coordination, develop complex problem-solving skills, and promote self-confidence. You can see that this person is clearly talking about video games as developmental tools for young people. That narrows the topic, and he clearly has his three main points picked out. So here's some examples of some thesis statements. You'll notice I use a lot of the same wording in this email. This PowerPoint is in your email so that you can closely mirror my wording to create your own thesis statement. So this person decided that they wanted to do it, their topic on fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva, which is a disease. They decided to narrow the topic. They wanted to focus on treatments and then living with the disease, so they came up with this thesis statement. To better understand FOP, one must know what it is, what it's like to live with it, and the treatment of it. Or this example about recycling. They tried to narrow it about the benefits, and then they came up with this thesis statement. To better understand the benefits of recycling, their points, preserving natural resources, conserving energy, and decreasing pollution must be addressed. So those were two different templates, you could say, for how you could create your thesis statement. We also need to talk about creating an outline. You know that outlines help you create the structure of your paper, and they develop relationships among all the supporting facts. A couple things to keep in mind is that an outline keeps changing. You will create for me an outline that's due tomorrow, Wednesday, for your paper that has main points and subpoints, but the outline's only finished when your final paper is finished. When you turn in your final paper to me, that is when you will turn in your final outline, which may be very different from the one that you submit to me tomorrow. So, outlining. First, you need to have read all of your preliminary research. As I asked you before, you need to be a mini expert on your subject matter. I asked you to read all of it, and it's going to be very hard to create an outline if you haven't read all of it. To do this, you need to decide what your three main points are and what your subpoints are going to be. So here's some examples of how people created the thesis statements, and you can see how their point one would go in their preview statement, and that would become the main point of their outline. Point two in their thesis statement would become their point two, and so on. Like in this example. Their 4 points that were previewed are their 4 points here. All right, you also need to have subpoints. You know that from when we wrote persuasive papers. And here's what the outline finish should look like. A couple key points. MLA formatting is important on this outline, so it does need to say thesis statement with a colon, and then you need to write your thesis statement out. Roman numerals are used for the main points, as you can see here. Capital letters are used for the subpoints, right here. And this in bold is just to help you kind of create this. You've probably used Google Docs or Microsoft Word where you try to create an outline and you type in your Roman numeral and then you enter and try to type your letters, and then you enter and you were hoping for another letter, but it might give you another Roman numeral over here. So you try to erase it and then you enter down hoping for something different, but it becomes very complicated when the program tries to format for you. So a key is that if you skip all the Roman numerals and letters and then just create your outline, and then go back once you're done with your outline and add in the Roman numerals and then add in the letters, then it won't format itself for you, and it's much easier to get the format after you've already typed in all your information. So the rest of the period, I want you to work at creating your thesis statement and outline for your research paper. It is due tomorrow, which is Wednesday. I will ask you to title the assignment in Google Docs, Thesis and Outline, and you have the rest of the class period to work on it. Please stay productive.